Hello,
Hello.
well, women. It is Coach Jules and I. We are really together in real life. I know it's as hard to believe for me as it is for you all. So I got to come to Coach Jules' part of town to her wonderful gym today.
And she did an awesome job.
Thank you. It was very cool because if you remember, part of the reason of how I got to know Coach Jules is I wanted to have her help me with my workouts, and so she still is. And so I came to get a new strength training workout with her today, figured out. And then we made it a priority to get some wonderful food afterwards here at Dorothy Lane Market. And Coach Jules had the excellent idea of getting to be live and say hi to you and let you know that we both do really exist in real life. Not everything has to be virtual.
Exactly. Yes.
And to talk about the very important idea of eating enough, because we both did eat before we worked out this morning. And then we did the, about what, 10:30 to 12 or so, like an hour and a half or so at the gym.
Yes, and we both are in the phase of maintenance and building muscles before we go into a cut.
And then, so when that was finished, it was time to get some more food.
Because food is important, especially after building muscles. Muscles love food. That's why if you want to increase your, what do we call it? Caloric intake, you want to build the muscles just because they need those calories, they need the energy. And the beauty of it, they can still need the energy when you are at rest. So that's why you can go and think about, well, I'm not hungry, or be intuitively eating or not eating. But if you actually have a plan and understand how it works, it helps out to know when to eat so that you can prevent yourself from future hunger, or perhaps minimize your level of soreness, or help you stay active and energized after your tough workout.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything to add?
I do, especially because I know so many of you are here because we connected through the Faster Way to Fat Loss and use intermittent fasting. And so there comes a point when some of you will say, trying to be in maintenance or eat enough to build muscles, I don't have time for my fast. And I am going through that now of just adjusting my fasting window, even on certain days, having it be different amounts of time so that I make sure I'm well fueled enough to go to the gym and feel good. And so, just like everything else we do, just keep in mind that your fast is just a tool that can work for you or against you, like everything else that we do in life. And you can listen to your body and say, okay, like I did this morning, I'm going to break my fast at, my gracious, when did I have to leave? Okay, I broke my fast at 9 a.m. We finished dinner last night probably like at 6:30. So I was like, it's just going to be a shorter fast. I still had a great fast. My body still had plenty of time to digest the food that was there. My blood sugar got to have a great rest. You do not need to have a 16-hour fast every single day to burn fat, to lose weight, to be well. That just isn't true. No tool do we have to use 100% of the time, all the time for every person to get any result. So then I felt really good to go to the gym and lift heavy weights and move around and have my energy, didn't get a headache, all of those kind of things. So if you have questions about that, be sure to ask, and I can share more about what I'm adjusting, what I'm trying, how that's going, so that you can have time to eat enough and not let some kind of like rules of a diet get in the way of you eating enough, because that's the secret. It is hard to believe, but we are both living proof that.
Well, and I don't fast, so so I just eat and plan my eating windows, which is making sure that I have enough fuel. So that's why it really helps me to prevent my hunger, because when I'm hungry, that means like I'm not fueling enough. All right. And of course, there is that concept out there that I'm sure a lot of you have heard: calories in, calories out. And this concept, perhaps to me, looks like you have to be punished for eating. And I prefer the concept that is more like energy balance, so that I'm actually looking at food is how much do I need to eat, or how much is enough to fuel my activities in life,
Right.
what I'm doing, how I'm breathing and how much I'm stressing, how much I'm talking.
Yeah.
So all of that. So which when you come to food with that perspective, it gives you a completely different mindset.
It really does.
And your body loves it. And it does what it's supposed to do. And it also comes with other benefits, but everybody is going to be different. So you just have to like live that to experience and find that minimal effective dose. And guess what? It's always going to be adjusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not set in stone, just like our maintenance calories. So that's why I like to look at it not calories in, calories out, but more like energy balance. How much am I giving out and how much can I refuel? Just like the car. Like you're not going to make it far if you don't have enough fuel. And by the way, Amanda, remember to fuel your car.
I do need to get gas to make it home.
So, yeah. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. And I think I was reflecting, like, just a few minutes ago, telling Jules about how in the beginning of macro tracking, I had this big epiphany that I was suddenly focused on eating enough rather than always how it had been in the past and focusing on, oh, I'm eating too much. I have to eat less. I have to make myself eat less. My focus had shifted to, oh, let me weigh this chicken to make sure this is going to be enough so I get enough protein today, because I want to get all the way up to that protein goal that feels really high to me. And that practice, I think, is what has kept me here, 3 years later, and made me feel like this is a wonderful lifestyle that I love. I have food freedom now. I have the body results I want. And it has come from, instead of thinking of deprivation and trying to stop myself from overdoing it, I've just flipped that on its head. Like Julia was just saying, instead of thinking of calories in, calories out, think, are you putting in enough fuel? Are you eating enough? And when you let yourself have that mindset shift, it can change everything. It could be it could be the mindset shift that you will make for yourself that will let you now finally have that healthy lifestyle that you thought you always should be able to figure out. Maybe it was as simple as this mindset shift. Because when we're always under eating and depriving ourselves, our bodies are always asking for more. They just want to survive. They just want to be properly fueled. So when we're in that deprivation mindset and trying to always tell ourselves, oh, don't have that, you've eaten too much, our bodies are working against us.
Yes.
They're saying, oh, no, we've not gotten enough by any means. We are not getting enough nutrition. Please eat more. And you never win in that situation.
Yes, and it's very stressful.
Right.
And also from physiological standpoint, what happens when we don't have enough food, which is nutrients for our body, so the body starts down-regulating all the systems. So all the system, including your thyroid hormone, and cortisol is going high when we do it obviously even longer. So and there is always that battle. So that's why the body is going for its lowest denominator,
Right.
which means it needs to store fat, especially around the belly, so that it's gonna take it later.
Right.
But when we have enough fuel and the body doesn't have to worry about all that stress, so all the other parts of the body and also the weight stuff kind of starts working. It's kind of like burning just because you eat more. So you know how the fire is burning because we put more wood into the fire. So it's kind of like the same idea here.
Yeah.
So just very important to eat enough so you can fuel your life. And from that, don't you think like your whole perspective on life changes? Like you look at things like, well, how much enough sleeping I do, how much enough resting I do, how much enough socializing I do, how much enough wine drinking I do. So it gives you a completely different outlook. It's like there is abundance,
Right.
and I don't have to deprive or limit, and that comes with like your whole mindset shift.
Right.
So, and that's a beautiful thing to live in the world of abundance instead of like, I don't have enough time. Well, how much time do I have?
Right.
And how much is enough? Right?
I agree.
Something I'm working on. It's still a challenge.
But it's fun to be able to work on all of those things through the lens of macros and food and muscles to me, because it takes the edge off. It makes it, let's see what I can do with my body and let's see what it's going to play out in my whole life. It's a little bit more fun, I have to admit, than I was asking Coach Jules for advice about like my living with my children, my 7 and 10-year-old right now. And all those kind of family shenanigans, all of that stuff. You know, we need a little break from that. And so it's nice to have the macros and the muscles to focus on abundance and let that fun and what you're discovering there seep out into the rest of your life and solve other problems for you. It's really good. It's really nice.
Yes, it is.
And then the opposite's true. Like when you're focused on a diet and never getting enough, you know that grouchiness seeps out into the rest of your life.
Yeah, so, and of course we live in the world of contrast, so it's good to experience both, and
True,
you know
true.
the difference, right?
Yeah.
And then you just have to do that dialing in, right? To just see how much contrast you go this way, how much contrast you go this way. Where can you dial in so that becomes your happy medium,
Right.
or that point of enough at this moment. It can change tomorrow, and it's going to be different enough. So it's that dialing in your toaster. So we've actually got a new toaster, and that's what we've been doing, because for some breads
Right.
you have to go higher, for other breads it's go lower, and
Yeah.
depending on the day or what you're going to have it with, it's like constant like dialing in.
Yeah, and we're
Figuring
the
out.
same way. We're the
Yes.
same way in all things in life, and especially with the food for our body. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's why we have this community, so don't be shy. So go ahead and like ask questions, have discussions. There are many wise and like-minded women here, so we definitely don't know all the answers, right, Amanda? We're learning.
I agree.
But we're definitely open for communication and discussion. We would love to know what you guys are thinking, what your struggles are. So because we are in the process of figuring out how we can be very helpful to the group.
Yes.
And we're learning ourselves. So we're doing mindset shifts here as well.
Right.
So use this group as your opportunity to share ideas and resources. There are lots of amazing, wise women here, right?
There are.
Yeah.
There are many, many of you, and nice,
Exactly.
community of women in their 40 and over. So you don't have to feel alone with all of those things.
Hi, Vanessa, and thank you for joining us. If you're still here and have a question, let us know. And if you left us, that's okay. You might catch up the replay later.
And you're always welcome to post in the group.
Yes.
Please don't forget, I know that can feel a little intimidating sometimes, but like I said, when you do, you guys realize that there's a lot of friends here who have like tried all the things and have great tips and ideas. And for those of you who've joined the group recently and said you're interested in happy hormones and sleep, satisfying sleep, it is on my radar to get a training together for you to overview the whole big picture of hormones, from like the smallest intervention to the most intervention, and pieces of the puzzle with food, lifestyle, and then bioidentical hormones, to get that training for you. So there'll be a announcement about when the training will be, the time, and it will be recorded. So I'll be here in the group for you soon. I know a lot of you have been asking. So I hear that, and we will get it underway for you.
And now, happy Monday. Build your muscles, get your mindset together that's going to serve you, and eat enough food.
What a good mission for you today, to go eat enough food.
Now let me finish with this very wise quote. You guys have heard, food is medicine. But when it becomes disrespected, your medicine becomes your food. So do your best to prevent this from happening. Start with your foundation. Eat enough.
And it's pretty fun. All right, ladies, have a fantastic Monday, and we will come back and help you out more soon.
Oh, yes, I need to finish.